Easy money for Bud Crawford, man. He got in there and took care of business. Opening round, Benavidez was putting out a good jab. He had a nice stiff jab. Um, Virtually no footwork, though. Putting the jab out there for, I would say, maybe the first three, maybe first 4 rounds. Uh, Not really much after that. He was trying to set up Crawford for the right hand counter most of the night and was proving unsuccessful. So Benavidez, I would give him maybe the first round. After that, Bud pretty much took over. Looked like he switched to the left hand stance, and he ended up pretty much picking his shots where he wanted to pick them, body to the head, head to the body. He didn't really make a sound decision to stick to the body until maybe about, I would say, the third or the fourth round. That's when he was committed to the body. He was breaking Benavidez down to his body. He decided that he was going to stop moving, and he took it to Benavidez in the middle of the round for, I would say, from three to about six. So he planned it out. He planned it out well. He beat him down to the body, got him to open up a little bit. This is what Terrence Crawford was doing. Got him to open up a little bit, beat him in his body, made him lose some wind. And after that, that's when he decided that he was going to go back to moving around, which is a solid game plan. So he did that. He got Benavidez already out of wind, and then he was able to take it to him on the switch up. He was able to turn Benavidez around. He was able to move in and out. So that pretty much caused Benavidez to not be so willing to trade. He was concentrating on not losing so much win, and he just wasn't able to offer anything back to Terrence Crawford. And he was making a hell of a mistake in the fight where I hate to see tall fighters do that. What he was doing was he was squatting down. He started squatting down to Terrence Crawford's height, and he was trying to set up punches from that height, and that's a big mistake because you leave yourself open for a check hook, you leave yourself open for a straight right uppercut, you leave yourself open for too many power shots when you start doing that stuff. And he didn't. When you do that, you can't come up with a decent defense for what's coming. He's squatting way down here and he got his gloves way up here. So you tell me what's open when you're doing that. You got the uppercut, you got all of the body shots, you got the jab, you can land the hook. There's so much you can do, especially if you're off balance. And that's pretty much what Terrence was doing because he was keeping his left foot on the outside of his opponent. So, which means he was forcing you to one side of the ring, and he was able to go straight down the pipe and land what he wanted to land. And I was waiting for him to land that right uppercut all night. I said it from the opening bell. He's open for the straight right, he's open for the hook, and he's open for the uppercut. And I said on Twitter, I said that he's either going to get knocked out with the hook or he's going to get knocked out with the uppercut. What happened? Boom. Pretty much done for with the uppercut. They had to TKO the fight in the 12th. So the reason why I'm not going through every single round is because Terrence Crawford dominated every round. Pretty much. ESPN gave Benavidez, they tied the round between him and Crawford. They gave them both tens in the sixth, which was not the case. Terrence Crawford won that round. I would give Benavidez maybe, I would give him the first round, and I would probably give him maybe the fifth round. Just being honest, he won 2 rounds out of the fight. And other than that, he wasn't able to offer anything else to the fight, to Terrence Crawford, to himself, to his corner. He wasn't able to do anything. And they tried to offer a backstory with his leg being shot. And, they had everything already ready, try to show the people why he wasn't moving around, or why he wouldn't be able to, I guess, bring anything to Crawford due to the fact that he just didn't have any power in his power leg to be able to punch off that back foot and give Terrence Crawford any problems in the fight. So they gave us a little backstory with that, but I mean, I really didn't need that because I saw what he was doing from the opening of the fight. He had himself stretched way out, and he was cutting off one half of the ring, one side of the ring, and forcing Terrence Crawford to his power side. So I knew that wasn't going to last for him all night. I didn't even pay attention to the leg brace until ESPN came up with that backstory. Honestly, I didn't even know anything was wrong with that man's leg until they said that. I wasn't focused on it. I was just focused on his stance. I was focused on what game plan he was bringing in, his power shots, his jab, and as soon as they start mentioning that he had a problem with his leg, that he got shot, I start focusing on his leg and how he was standing, and but either way, whether his leg was shot or not, with the way that he came into the fight, he wasn't going to win. It was no way possible that he was going to win. And he kept trying to draw in Terrence Crawford, come on, moving back to the ropes and putting his back to the ropes and trying to force him into a firefight so he can land a counter right. And that's pretty much all he had for the night. That was his game plan. He had, pretty decent hand speed, but he's not a guy that moves around on his toes. He's not a guy that turns his opponent. He is gonna cut off what side of the ring that he feels. Basically, he's gonna cut you off and force you to his right hand shot. That's what he's gonna do, and that was his game plan. He didn't have anything else ready. He didn't set traps. He didn't. He stopped using his jab after a while, which is credit to Terrence Crawford and what he was doing in there. But at the end of the day, Benavidez didn't have anything else left to offer, and he got beat down by Terrence Crawford pretty significantly easy. Terrence made it look easy, but it was hard for him in the first 3 rounds to gauge what was going on with Benavidez in the fight, and because that guy was he had long reach too, and he was preventing Terrence Crawford from trying to set things up with his jab, and early in the fight anyway, until Terrence started moving and he switched to the left hand stance and forced Benavidez to open up. So that's what I like to see, man. I like to see if guys gonna have a pretty decent game plan. And he had multiple game plans in there, but he only had to really stick to one, which was the switch and pretty much box from the inside out. That's what he did, and it worked to his benefit because later on he was able to box on the outside and pick his shots and move the way that he wanted to move and pick his shots from the outside and then go inside and do what he wanted to do there. So he had so many opportunities to close out the fight, but he was taking his time, which is smart. He didn't rush into anything, which is what I like a lot about Terrence Crawford, is that he's very patient in the fight. So anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's nothing else left to offer. If you guys didn't catch it, it was on ESPN tonight. That's where most of the boxing is going to be anyway, since HBO is out of business. So it's either going to be Showtime or ESPN, or if you want to check into DAZN or whatever other apps that these guys are coming up with. I heard they're getting ready to drop another one. So we'll see what's next for the sport of boxing. But we on to the next one. I haven't been on here in a minute, been setting things up on Facebook. So I got my page up on Facebook, and I just decided that I was going to go ahead and tie that in by popular demand, my brother and a few others. So the page is not public, but I'm getting ready to make it public probably next week, and we're going to go ahead and start building our audience up through Facebook. But anyway, man, I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all at the next one. Peace.